Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome back once again to Rogues Gallery Live. To Rogues Gallery Live. Whoops, we got to correct, fix a wrong there. There we go. All right, now we're good to go. Okay. All right. That's right.
Look, there's Dan.
That's right. It's Dan. Dan's here.
Hi, Dan.
I exist.
Amazing.
And I'm just going to say I'm just blown away automatically because this is our first real glimpse into your collection. Look at that.
A little part of it. Yes, indeed. I figured I'd do that tonight. See?
Yep.
I haven't completely forgotten. Okay, that's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're so glad that everybody's here. This is Rogues Gallery Live 155. We just lost Matt. Hopefully he'll be back. And we have a great show planned for you guys tonight. There he is. Let me see if I can pop him back in there. All right, let's do some rearranging. We got to put him over there. We got to put him over. Okay, now, Eric needs to go there. Okay, all right. Now it looks right. All right. So anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. We have a couple of different topics to talk about, and we also have a lot of photos to look at as well. But I do want to do my introductions. We have, of course, this guy. So glad he's back. We got Dan from Wayne Manor, Rocket City. How's it going, sir?
Yeah, awesome to be back. I have just a little bit going on in life.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know in the audience, to give full appreciation. So as one of the elder statesmen of the BSC community, I should say, my son is getting married in November, and my daughter just got engaged last weekend, I guess, weekend before. So it has been hectic, and her wedding is likely to be in about a year's time. So we're looking at 2 weddings inside of about 16 months, 18 months, and it's just nuts. So,
and a brand new job too. So there's just a lot going on in Rocket City.
Yeah, a little bit going on. Yep, for sure.
Well, anyway, we're really glad you're here tonight, and congratulations to all of your kids. It's very exciting.
Thanks.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah. Any update on your son's progress?
He is doing great. And again, for those who may not know, but Brandon throws in the Angels organization, and he's rehabbing. He's at the later part of rehabbing Tommy John surgery that he got last July. So it's been over a year now. He's now pitching. He's still at their rehab facility. Their main complex is in Arizona, and he is now pitching to live hitters in his bullpens and throwing. They can't let him go all out, but his not even all out is 97 right now. He's sitting on his fastball, for those of you who like baseball. So and he feels great. So thank you for asking. But we fully expect to see him pitching competitively not too long from now.
That is awesome. Well, tell him congratulations. I can't wait to see how he continues to progress. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. We also have Matt Martin with us. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, getting ready. We were saying, getting ready for Terrificon. So I'll be flying out tomorrow. So any members in the group or something going to be there, please just hit me up on Facebook or whatever, and we'll do a meetup and just hang out and all that. So it'll be pretty cool.
And it looks like Jim Lee's going to be there, Capullo, Scott Snyder, a good crew. And we were just saying, they just announced Keanu Reeves for the show, but only 100 people get in. So it's going to be, are you going to be waiting in that line?
There's a chance. I've got people that I know that are working the con and have booths. So I might have a little edge up but I'm thinking about it, put it that way.
No, that is incredible. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely keep us posted on that event. I can't wait to see all the fun stuff. And I'm sure, I'm sure you're going to maybe pick up a few commissions. Maybe have you already arranged that?
The Jim Lee commission, I'll get do a meet and greet with Jim Lee, like a private meet and greet. He has texted me and said, "Hey, just FYI, I might not finish it in time, but we'll still do our meet and greet, and I'll show you progress pics, etc., and where I'm at and all that jazz." So
are you saying that you now have Jim Lee's number? kind of. Through somebody else, probably. I bet. Yeah.
But with respect, definitely, just like I got, Jeff John's.
I was going to say Jeff John's number and Jim Lee's number in a year. That's a pretty good year.
Yeah. But he just wanted to give me a heads up. He's very kind, and he was like, "Hey, number one, I don't want to rush it, but number two, I just want to give you a heads up because I know you're excited about this piece." But he said definitely we'll still do our meet and greet and just chill out and just talk about whatever you want to, with respect, talk about and all that. So definitely looking forward to that.
That's awesome. We got this guy right here from the Secret Sanctuary, just back from D23, Mr. Jeff Delaney. How's it going, sir?
Going really well. Yeah, it was a pretty fun show. It's a different kind of convention than a Comic-Con, but I had a good time. It's fun.
Is it getting to be kind of more Comic-Con-y though? Like I feel like there's a lot of exhibits and a lot of like presentations and stuff.
It's nothing like Comic-Con.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff like that, but there's long lines for everything on the floor, and there was nothing I really needed to see. There'll be 300 people in line to get a little pin. I don't need the
pin. That's because it's crazy Disney people.
Yeah.
And they're all about the merch.
So I was there for Iron Studios. If they had been doing the announcements still at the convention center rather than at the Honda Center, I would have tried to get into one or two of those. But yeah, I walked the floor, but there wasn't much for me there other than Iron Studios. And it was cool because Iron Studios did bring several pieces that they did not have at San Diego.
Yeah, what did you think of the Indian person?
The Indian person?
No, Indy, like Indiana Jones.
Oh, in person. In person. That's a different thing.
A whole different thing than an Indian person. Yeah, that's different.
It's not bad. It's a pretty good likeness. Everything like above the waist, like his jacket and the satchel and all that stuff looked really, really, really good. I thought his pants kind of had a plasticky look to them. But other than that, it wouldn't be a bad way to represent that character in your collection. It's pretty good.
That's cool. It's been a little bit since there's been, Sideshow did a couple, 10 years plus back.
Yeah.
And so it's been a long time since we've had, decent sized statues of him. So
right.
I'm sure there's a lot of new collectors that'd be interested in that because he's still such a popular character.
Totally.
How far is the Honda Center from the Anaheim Convention Center?
It's really close. Yeah, it's not far at all.
So can you walk or do you have to drive?
No, you'd have to drive.
Okay. I just didn't know how convenient it was for people to get around if they had to go to the.
What they did was, and I didn't realize this until the convention was happening. You could, if you had a ticket to one of the evening programs at the Honda Center, you could park there for free, and they would shuttle you over to the convention center for the day stuff.
Okay, that's nice.
So that's cool. But to me, the main problem, the thing I didn't want to deal with, having gone to concerts there, is that when the show is over, you're playing bumper cars for an hour getting out of that parking lot. Yeah. And I just didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all, but I'm still glad you got to go and experience it. And it seems like they're trying to make it bigger and bigger every year, especially like with what they did at the Honda Center. They tried to make it more of a show, especially like the parks panel and stuff like that. So,
and I have a good friend that's very much involved in all that. So she was very busy this weekend.
That's awesome. Did you hear any gossip from her?
No, I heard some gossip from her from the year before. When the programs were still at the convention center, I went to the one, the facilities one.
Yeah.
And it was like a half an hour late getting started. And I bumped her on the floor later in the day, and she just said, "Actors, the worst, man." So yeah, because it's a full on show with dancing and singing and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that was the only gossip I got, was that they were late because of the actors being difficult.
That sounds about right. Well, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yep.
We also have JWR, who just got a brand new statue today. Got his tweeter head Two-Face in. I'm very jealous. What do you think initially? What's your first thought?
Oh, I love it. I think it is just a perfect representation of him from the comic books. The only thing I would have maybe tweaked is if they did the more teal color from the animated series, but Chad and Tweeterhead, they nailed this one. The texture on the suit, the face, the pocket square is the big thing for me. And the coin looks really good too.
It's awesome. There obviously has been some people that they're disappointed that there's not a gun or blood or things like that. And again, when this was made, I think if it was made today, there would have been able to do more with it. I know Chad was very frustrated with not being able to do more because of Warner Brothers, saying no to everything. But I'm really glad that he turned out. I still think, even though he doesn't have the gun and doesn't have some of those bells and whistles, I still think it turned out really great. Having the prototype in, I haven't seen the finished product myself, but the photos I've seen looks really great so far. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And then last but certainly not least, we have Eric B. from All Things Art, just back from 3 weeks, I think it was. It felt like at Disney World. How did it go?
Felt like 3 weeks. It was more like 8 days. And yeah, it was a very long and winded trip. We got to do a lot. We actually headed there like literally the day after the hurricane hit Florida, so we weren't sure, what was going to happen with the weather. But it actually turned out to be like really beautiful out there. It only rained one day, and it was the last day for a few hours, so we got really lucky with that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got to do Tron for the first time, so that was a lot of fun.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I know we were comparing it the last time, which one was better, Tron or Guardians. Probably still Guardians, but Tron's very close. I really like the whole motorcycle aspect and the acceleration of like feeling like you're on a motorcycle.
I was gonna say the first 10 seconds or so is the best part of the ride.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fun. It's just it's not even a minute long, but that launch is pretty incredible. So
yeah,
that's really great.
We got lucky. The 2 times we went on, we got to sit in the very first car, the first row. So it was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it looked like the weather was fairly decent.
Yeah, it was funny because the storm hit down there, but when we got down there, the weather was beautiful. And then where I am out in New Jersey, it was like raining every day out here, so it was like kind of switched as we flew down there. So that it worked out good.
That's good. Well, I've got to show off. Members have already seen this, but I got to show off my new Ryan Brown Joker here.
That's awesome. It looks bigger. Is that 11 by 17?
It feels like it's a little bigger than that.
13 by 9, maybe.
Let's see if I can figure out where my.
I was looking at it in your photo. I didn't know if it was just the perspective of the camera. I was like, wow, that thing looks pretty big.
I don't know where my tape measure went. I'll have to try to find it. But yeah, it feels a little about 11 by 17, maybe a slightly bigger.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like you kept describing it as like there was no brush strokes or anything. It's insane like how smooth it is.
Is it
I got mine if you want to borrow it.
Oh yeah, just throw it through here. You have to run it. I know there's one in the office, but I don't know where I put mine. I'm sure it's just around here somewhere. But it's really crazy. Like the chin, it like fuzzes out to make it look like it's kind of blurry. It's just really neat.
Yeah, he swears he doesn't use like an airbrush or anything, but I don't know.
I was about to say it looks airbrushed from
It
here.
does, but he hand paints. It's crazy. But anyway, very excited to have that. So that's my new toy. Anything else new for you guys coming in, or anything you're excited about?
I got my my jock came in while I was gone. Thank God it's still in good condition. It was like sitting outside in the rain under my porch for a few days, but it's good. Yeah, that came in. That's about it.
I just framed mine.
Well, it looks good.
Beautiful.
That looks good.
So I'm really proud of how it turned out, and I want to thank these gentlemen because they kind of gave me some advice on which ones looked better than others, because I was maybe going to go a different way. So really glad I did it this way.
That looks awesome, Chris.
Yeah, it looks nice framed up.
Thank you. And again, do you already have yours framed too, Eric? Or are you waiting on?
No, I literally just got it yesterday, so I haven't really framed any of my original art yet. It's just all like scattered throughout my house right now.
Well, get on it already. We want to see that framed up.
I know.
Alex says, Dan giving us a sneak peek at the room. When is the room tour, boss? The people have been asking.
I know. It's been tough finding 2 minutes to rub together, but
yeah, like you said, very busy man, but it's coming.
A little busy.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Actually, how
Actually,
about the rest of you? Anything else new coming in, guys?
I got some original art besides the Jim Lee. I got some original art coming in. Statue wise, I did do the. I got Alfred coming because
we all
got the notification that Alfred's early.
Who else is getting that? I know I am. I think Dan is. I think
Dan bit the bullet. So Dan, I know Dan is. What about you?
I'm getting it.
Jeff, did you get Alfred?
I did not.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep, I got Alfred.
But none of us ordered the tactical throne yet, right?
I did.
Oh, you did.
I did the Mac Daddy.
The screens and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you did the one with the Batmobile in the back.
Yeah.
I keep kicking it around. It's so deep. It's such a deep piece.
For yours, if that Fabok is off, if the Fabok is off, that one's going to be off too.
Yeah.
So with respect, so yeah.
I worry about that, but it's still a great piece, and I'm glad that Alfred's shipping. I don't know if anybody will ever do an Alfred again. I guess we'll find out. But
yeah, we'll find out.
It'll be nice to finally have him in the collection. So, and Eric, you didn't get that one?
No. I got a new. I told you guys a new Capullo black and white's coming in for dumb reasons.
Well,
you gotta tell the story.
Yeah, tell the story. Let's collect your problems here.
For my long trip at Florida, I came home and discovered there was a fly in my house. It was actually in my office, so I quarantined it into the office area, shut the door, and went a little gung ho with the towel snapping, trying to snap it in the air and hit the fly. Trying to kill it. And it was taking a little bit too long, and I was getting a little bit desperate just to kill the thing already and go to bed. And I accidentally snapped it at one of my black and white statues and knocked it over and broke one of my statues. So
you killed the Court of Owls is what you did. But we found out that it's not all PVC.
That is true. Yeah,
it is resin. So that's pretty cool. Because we all thought that whole thing was like rubber, but I guess it was just the head. Maybe
it's not a very expensive statue. It was only like $60 shipped. So I was like, I'll just buy a new one. So I purchased a new one from Amazon. So.
Chris and Logan, that's not funny. You're not supposed to laugh at this poor man's tragedy. Come on.
It could have been worse. At least I only hit one and not the whole entire shelf.
Well, yeah, I'm glad it wasn't one of your 1/3. Those are a little bit more expensive to replace. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, just a little bit.
Dan, I did get your package, so I will get it signed by Jim Lee.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
So yeah.
That is awesome. I thought about reaching out to you and it's like, can I send you my cowl just because I want to get that cowl signed so bad. But I know that he only does a certain amount of signatures per person. So maybe next time. Let's go into topic number one. Kind of a big news this week. The Prime 1 Batman Hush Superman went up for pre-order finally, and it's waitlisted already. Are you guys surprised, or you figure that would probably happen? What do you guys think about all of the Superman chatter this week?
Well, I'm one of the people who, I waited like 2 days, and I was like, hey, let me think on it. But then I woke up, what was it? Saturday morning, I called Dan when I saw it. I was like, this thing's already low stock. And so I jumped on Prime 1 and pre-ordered it, But he was like, me and Dan were going back and forth. We were like, really? It's already low stock? And I'm like, yeah, I think the price point good, and adding that extra head that the 1/3 doesn't have. Mm-hmm. I think they really knocked it out the park with it, put it that way.
What about the rest of you? Are you surprised it waitlisted so quickly?
They kept the quantity so low.
Me too. Do you think they're kicking themselves in the foot right now?
I think they sold themselves short by probably 25%. I think they should have done 1,000 and 2,000 or something. I mean, even if they only sold 2,000 to start, those things would sell for a couple of years to come.
I agree.
They would have sold.
Has it officially waitlisted? I think Jeff, you said right. It waitlisted once and then it came back up for order or something.
No, from a different vendor.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it waitlisted at Prime 1.
Yep.
And then it waitlisted at Sideshow. I'm talking about the bonus.
The bonus version. Yeah, the bonus version.
Yeah. And it waitlisted at Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
And then Secret Compass had it this morning. I'm not sure if they've waitlisted or not.
The bonus version is, I think, what got a lot of people excited was because they did another head sculpt.
Yeah.
And did you guys like the head sculpt? Did you feel like it looked more like Jim Lee? Like I felt like the original still looked very Jim Lee to me, but did you feel like the newer updated portrait looked better?
I think the new one looks better.
Yep.
I do too.
Good. Well,
I like the new one, and I like the looking down one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
me too.
the one I like too. I do like the angry one just because I liked the villain aspect of it with Poison Ivy and the vines. But I think that was probably my favorite one too. Is just looking down. It just looks more stoic, which is awesome. But let me know in the chat if anybody else ordered the Superman. I'd like to get kind of an idea. Just we have almost 130 people watching right now. I would love to see how many of you ordered. Just say ordered in the chat if you did, and if you were able to get the bonus one. There were some people, obviously, that why I said that shenanigans or legit. One of the viewers of the channel asked this question about the fact that, basically they shrunk a third scale statue and are reselling it. And some people take offense to that. They're like, well, we had this limited edition Superman and now you're going to make these quarter scale ones. Me personally, I think that they changed enough of it. They changed the base, they changed the cape, they changed the portrait, or at least offered a new portrait. Do you guys feel like collectors are getting gypped if they change it a little bit, or do you feel like, I don't know, I've never really cared, I guess. What do you guys think?
I think I wasn't around in the statue game when the 1/3 came out, but same thing with the Poison Ivy. I got the newer Poison Ivy from Prime 1, and there was debate, with respect, hey, this the same thing, you can't do that. I think they changed a lot on this one to where it's not the exact. I mean, if somebody offered me the 1/3 model at a fair price, I would get the 1/3 model. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I wasn't around at that time.
How about the rest of you guys?
I think it's still strange, but I guess I don't own the statue, so I mean I can't say like whether I'm upset that they re-released it, but I do think it's kind of odd that they did that. But at least, like you said, they made changes. But as far as it being, I don't know, I don't get the whole thing. I think it's a little bit too hyped up, that statue, and sorry to say that, but I don't know. To me, Superman hushed. He was like a villain in that story. He was a bad guy. To me, that doesn't really represent the true Superman. So, I mean, it's a great looking statue, but it wouldn't be like the real representation of like Superman in my collection if I had a Superman statue.
So you have the Hush Poison Ivy back behind you.
Yeah.
Let's say a couple weeks from now, they announce that they're going to do a quarter scale version of that exact statue in green and flesh color. Would that bother you, or would you be like, I don't care?
I guess not at this point. I don't know. I know we went through this with the Sanity, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of messed up that they were going to make a quarter scale Sanity, and then they never did. But I don't know. At this point, maybe I'm just because I've been collecting so long, I don't really care anymore. But I don't know.
We're the old crotchety collectors at this point. We just like, I care less.
I try not to get too angry these days. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't care anymore. I don't know.
What do you think about that, JWR? Because you're a new-isher, collector compared to some of us that have been collecting for a long time. What do you think about that?
I think it's cool. I think it gives people that can't afford the 1/3 statue, especially the first time around or a resale market, a chance to get a great statue that Prime 1 made, and they changed the base and everything enough. I can understand people being upset about the new portrait, not being able to get it for the 1/3 because it is so good looking. So that I could understand people being mad about. But them redoing the statue, they changed enough where I don't think it's the exact same. So I think it's a kind of a new twist on an old classic.
I really think that would really throw a bone to collectors that could be upset about it by selling that portrait. I mean, they're not just going to give it away, but if they could make that new portrait for the 3rd scale, that would be pretty awesome. I think. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think it would be goodwill toward the other collectors. What do you think, Jeff?
I ordered it.
Oh, nice, very nice. Yes.
It was funny because I was up, when it goes live like 11 p.m. my time on Prime 1 site. And as soon as I saw that it was edition size of 750 and that the shipping was not terrible, the shipping was $126.
It's not bad.
I thought, what the hell? So I went ahead and pre-ordered it. I agree with JWR. The only thing that would bother me if I was a 1/3 collector and owned that piece would be the head sculpt issue. That would really piss me off, I think, to be honest. But no, to me, it was kind of hard to resist. Like I said, I've never been really fond of the portraits on that statue, except that looking down one. So adding the new portrait did help my decision. But it makes me wonder, what can of worms have they opened?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so successful. Are they going to now release the quarter scale black costume? And then when they do the quarter scale Batman Batcave, are they going to do the black version of that? Are we going to get a quarter scale Poison Ivy? So it might have really opened a can of worms for collectors.
Well, clearly this has done very well for them. The fact that they waitlisted so quickly, I don't know how many they're going to make of the regular, but we knew this was going to be a big moneymaker for them. It's a very popular statue. Is it just a money grab, though? Do you guys, like Chris and Logan says, is it a money grab?
They're a business.
I was going to say, yes, absolutely, it's a money grab. I mean, why?
Money.
You sculpted something that is awesome. People loved it. Of course, they're going to try to do as much as they can, especially right now where DC sales are absolutely in the crapper. It's like they're going to print money here. So yes, it is a money grab, and I don't think they should be blamed for that.
No.
I feel like, again, with this particular statue, I do feel like they changed enough of it. If it was an exact print, I still don't know if I would care. Just because I'm like, I like to collect 1/3. This person over here likes to collect 1/4. Let them have a chance to have something awesome too. So I don't necessarily see the problem with that. I actually was really quite shocked that they did add that extra portrait, which I don't feel like they really needed to do to sell it.
Yeah. I'm really curious what they're going to do with the Batcave thing, because that 1/3 scale Batcave, you can get that for $9.99.
Yes.
So what do you do if you're Prime 1? I mean, are they going to add something really special to that one?
Yeah.
I'm really curious what they're going to do.
What do you think? Oh, you know what they could do? Or I wonder if they would offer the wrapped, that Hush wrapped portrait.
Yeah, I posted that today in my group.
Did you?
I asked, do you think they're going to offer this as the bonus, or is it going to be something brand new we haven't seen before?
Yeah.
I wonder what they could do.
Well,
Hush wrapped. I'm buying the 1/4 Batman when it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, how do you feel about the 1/4 Batman coming out where you have the 1/3? Same with you, Dan.
It doesn't bother me a bit.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Awesome. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, it just doesn't. To me, it's a completely different product, right? Yes, it's the same design, but the application is just completely different. This 1/3, for those of you if you haven't seen it in person, see it in person. It's massive, right? Yep. It is a massive centerpiece statue, whereas the quarter scale, I gotta believe, is something completely different, right? Where you could put other pieces, or it doesn't necessarily need to be that centerpiece like Hush does.
And the 3rd scale, of course, has that big computer screen. Yeah. I mean, it's a much larger base. This is going to be a much more condensed base.
Yep.
So it's going to be a lot more collector friendly. And again, like, not everybody is a 3rd scale collector. So just because I like 3rd scale doesn't mean I'm like, I want all of those quarter scale collectors to suffer and never have a chance to own this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. It's like, congratulations to anybody that picks up art that they love. And that's something we've been talking about forever on this channel. It's like, let people buy what they want to buy. And I don't feel like it's a cash. I mean, I don't feel like it's a slap in the face necessarily. I could see why maybe some collectors would feel that way, but I feel like they're the collectors that are probably flipping things. They're trying to recoup their money, but no one's recouping their money right now anyway.
That's exactly the issue. So back in the day, it would be like, it would feel like they were flooding the market. Now, if you try to sell yours, it might, hurt your sale. But these days, nothing is pretty much selling, so it doesn't.
I mean, you're going to take a hit on if you're reselling the comics or if you're reselling statues and artwork. You're going to take a hit these days in this economy.
100%.
It doesn't matter. And with respect, I think you get the head pieces with it for the additional for $9.99. I mean, and you get an additional. I mean, I think they nailed it with the price point. I think with the economy, they nailed it with the price point.
Fatal the Collector's in the house. Congratulations to him on his brand new life-size Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. That was awesome to watch you unbox that. But he says simple fix: release both scales simultaneously. Back then, when Prime One was doing that, though, that wasn't really a thing, and they didn't have the quarter scale license either, and so that also is an issue. They were able to do some quarter scale pieces in conjunction with Sideshow, which is why that relationship was really good for quite a while. But they simply weren't able to do quarter scale, and I don't know what has changed, but obviously they're able to do it now. Whereas, even like somebody like Tweeterhead, if Tweeterhead wants to do quarter scale, they have to go through Sideshow to do so. And so that, I think that is why it wasn't done back in the day. And now the fact that they can do that, Sideshow's doing it, Tweeterhead's doing it, other companies are doing it. And so I think if you roll the clock back and we could change time, I think, Prime One would have done it at the time. And they probably would have sold a whole lot more quarter scales than they ever did the third scales, would be my guess. Mm-hmm. Just because people still love quarter scale, it's much more manageable. So
the funny thing about that quarter scale Superman is that it's basically the dimensions of a 1/3 scale piece. It's 30 inches tall and 20 inches wide.
Yep.
And it was an oversized piece to begin with. I mean, it is an oversized, it's just a massive, if you've ever seen the third scale in person, it is just, a massive piece. And the base alone was crazy.
And if you already own the 1/3, they pretty much just sealed it in for you. That, I mean, not that it was ever selling for a low price, but I mean, the fact that they're both the same price now, you should be able to get a lot more for the 1/3, which it already does sell for a lot more. But anyway,
yeah. No more asks, how do you guys feel about the 1/4 statue being the same price as the 1/3? I personally wasn't shocked at all by the price point. I figured it could even go a little higher. Because of the demand of that. What do you guys think? Do you guys feel, are you offended by the fact that a quarter scale is not the same price as the third?
I think the 1/3, it sells sometimes between 2,000 to 3,000, something like that, some crazy number. So,
and also I thought price wise, I thought it was going to be about 1,200. I said it's going to be about 1,200. So they surprised me on the price.
Yeah. Again, I'm not too shocked that it's doing well. I'm not too shocked that some of the community members get upset, but I think at the end of the day, I think it's very legit for Prime One to ask it. I think that they're very smart that they're bringing these products back out. I can see Batman. What other ones could you see them doing? Like the viewer was like, oh, hold on just a second. I've got to say hello, Mr. Daniel Bell in the house. Hello to Daniel Bell. Cool. Nice to see you, my friend. Congratulations. On everything. Just saw that they're adding that light up feature to his statue with Martin Canale, the Batman versus Joker diorama. So that looks really great with that poison gas. So much success to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. But anyway, the person was asking about what other statues could you see them doing in quarter scale, especially they were specifically talking about the DC line. What other ones could you guys see that they might take that chance on? What do you guys think?
I could see the Deathstroke one, the OG Deathstroke one that I've got and you've got, Chris.
Yes.
Because that sold well and that's still highly sought after. So I can see them doing a 1/3 of that, and then, a 1/4 of that. But then also, if this Delado throne piece sells good, I can see them doing a 1/4 for the people who don't have the room.
Are you talking about the tactical throne?
That is 1/4.
Yeah, that's already 1/4.
Oh, that's 1/4. Yeah, I mean it's going to be massive.
I wish it was third, although I'd need a whole other room probably for that thing.
Yeah. But to me, the one that sticks out would be then the Bane, the Finch Bane, and then the Deathstroke.
Yeah,
I can see them doing 1/4.
Yeah, I think that Bane that's a good one.
God, the Bane would be crazy awesome. And some people are saying Tech 1000. I could see that one.
Yep.
Being very, very popular.
Yeah.
Yep. I think with respect, I think those, and then maybe even the Fabok massive piece that Chris and I have. I could see him probably doing that one in 1/4.
Chris, I watched your video on the is it PCS Dark Side Collectibles Penguin?
Yes. This
morning. And very much a related topic. I noticed you mentioned that they're releasing that in both 1/3 and 1/4. Am I thinking about this correctly? I don't think Prime One does that ever, do they? Do they ever announce both scales?
I've never seen them do that. they may have done that for something, but I'm just not familiar with anything
No,
that they
they've never
did.
done that.
I wonder what the implications of that are to the manufacturing process, right? You think if they can achieve the same level of profitability on both scales, why not announce them both and capture a bigger audience, right?
Right.
It's
Well,
just-
you would think like the factory painting could be painting them at the same time also.
I'm sure. Yep.
So basically what Prime One had to do is pay a factory and arrange all of that, create a prototype, pay the factory to paint it and box it up and all that stuff. And then years later, they're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I would think if they had the same painters painting the exact same thing, whether they're different scales, because they're going to have the same paint,
Yeah, exactly.
application. I mean, there might be slight differences, obviously, with the base, or maybe the cape is painted a little differently or whatever. But I would think just financially that would make a lot of sense. I think that sometimes companies worry that they're not going to sell enough of something.
Yeah.
Maybe like if they say, well, we're going to offer 1/4 and 1/3. Well, we only sold 50 1/3, but we sold X amount of, 1/4.
Right.
So I could see where maybe some companies get a little bit worried. Like let's say Tweeterhead's doing a quarter scale. I think a quarter scale is probably going to sell way better than a fifth scale that they're going to be, or a sixth scale that they're going to be doing,
Mhm.
And so I could see where, Chad would obviously want the fifth scale stuff to do better. But if they announce them both at the same time, collectors will be like, well, screw the 1/5. I just want the quarter scale because that's what I collect. So I could see it maybe going back and forth with the way the company views it. But at the end of the day, you know exactly where you stand too.
Yeah. True.
So that's a very good point. It is interesting to see how different companies do things.
Yep.
The dark side, I think that they've been struggling a little bit with their rollout, obviously, of this Catwoman, and so I think people are really leery about what they're going to do. But I still think it's smart that they're doing it in 2 scales. I think I would love to see Prime One do that.
Yep.
But I don't like right now. I don't feel like they're not going to roll out very many 3rd scales because they don't have a confidence in it.
Right.
Really, the only one that's been teased at all is that Riddler. Right?
Yeah.
For DC wise. So obviously they don't have a lot of confidence. I don't see them offering Riddler in quarter scale and 3rd scale. I don't know. But it is interesting. Anything else you guys want to say about that topic?
As a one collector, the one I would like them to do is the Joker Say Cheese.
Oh.
I think that would be that would be a cash grab for all the collectors. They would grab that so quick.
I'm amazed by how many people still see it for the first time and they're like, holy crap, what was I missing out on here? Like, and I think we all had that reaction initially when it first was shown. We're like, I don't know if I love it. But when you see it in person, it's just absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorites in my collection. I can't imagine it ever leaving my collection.
Yep. Same.
And, I think it would do very well in quarter scale, especially because I consider that a Hush statue. I use the Jim Lee portrait. That's the way I have it displayed. I have the Bang flag. And so I think sitting next to that Batcave, which is the way I have it in 3rd scale, I think a lot of people would love it. Now it is tall. It's a very tall piece. So it might not be what everybody wants, but I don't know if there's a better Joker out there. So I can see Prime One doing that. And I think they would be smart to do it.
Brad thinks I'm frozen.
Just like this the whole show.
Brad, I've learned that if I stand perfectly still, I'm invisible.
That's right. He is. I can't even see it. And you're wearing that kind of is it a gray or green shirt?
No, you can't see my shirt. I'm completely invisible.
Yeah,
So
I can't even see you.
Breaking out the Guardians of the Galaxy quote. Oh boy.
I love it. Oh, look at this question. This is NYC Collector says, what if the company asked if we want 1/3 or 1/4 and the higher response wins? Well, you're going to piss off somebody no matter what you do.
Yeah.
I think 1/4 would win. I mean, 1/4, isn't it throughout time been the most popular scale?
100%. and that would piss off third scale collectors. Like, well, I really wanted that statue too.
Well, you mentioned in the chat, we were asking if Prime 1 had ever offered 2 scales, and they did. They did it with Constantine, but that didn't work out. They pulled back the 1/3.
But that was their own fault because they didn't include the best part of the statue.
Well, yeah, and just depends whether you believe their excuse for that or not, I guess.
You know, and I know why they didn't, but I mean, obviously the price, it might have priced people out and they wouldn't have sold very many. But wouldn't you rather sell like 50 than 0?
Yep.
I don't know if I would trust polls anyway. Anytime there's a poll on Facebook, half the people that, leave a comment or, mark that poll little option don't even plan on buying it to begin with.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like Fatal says, they should have included the wing. I really think so too. I think that would have made a big difference in sales because I mean, Delaney has it. It's a fantastic statue. It is just brilliant. And so, yeah, there it is right there. I love it. And I think it would have made one heck of a good third scale statue. I mean, it's not something I was going to buy, but I know a lot of people were interested. So,
yeah.
I want to thank 170 people watching right now. Thank you guys. You are absolutely incredible. If you would do me a favor, please hit the like button. That really does help us out very, very much. And again, I cannot thank you guys enough for your continued support here on Rogues Gallery Live and all of our collective channels. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's go on to topic number 2. I thought this was interesting. How do you budget money for a convention? Travel, hotel, food, planned on-site purchases, the usual overspending on things you see and want. Again, that was posted by a viewer on Facebook. So, we enjoy, like Delaney, you just went to D23. A lot of us like to go to Comic-Con. JWR just went to his very first one. I'll start with you, JWR. That was your first experience. Was it more money than you expected? Did you kind of figure it would be kind of the way it was? How did you kind of go into it as a first time con goer?
I mean, I talked to you about prices. I talked to Billy about prices and kind of what to expect. And everybody was kind of like, this is what signatures cost. This is what original art's going to cost. So kind of budget around that. So I had it budget in mind, and I actually came out a little bit less than I expected to spend.
Great.
Don't go with Chris to a Finch dinner. Or actually, it's really great to go with him because he'll buy all the art, and you're just like, I want that, but
it's gone.
Yeah, but you're going to get one now, so that's even better. That's right.
So,
yeah, I mean that dinner was definitely expensive. I mean, because that's not an everyday con going thing unless you just you can make it happen, but that was a big expense that might not normally happen.
Dinner for when you told me about it and you sent me the link before I opened it, I thought it was going to be way higher. So I was like very pleased with the amount that the dinner was actually like charged us for, and the food was incredible.
Yeah, the food was great, and obviously the company was fantastic. So I'm glad to hear that you didn't spend quite as much as you were planning. What would you guys say in general are your biggest expenses in going to a con?
Commissions.
Well, for Matt, but yeah, you just went over the edge this year, my friend.
But now I do try to do it smart, where like
way over the edge.
Put you to shame, Chris. And that's
oh my God, I can't even compete. I'm not even close to this guy now.
That's saying something too.
Yeah, it is. I spent a lot of money on this Finch wall, but man, Mr. Martin's blowing me away this year.
But what I normally do, and I've like I think Dan's adapted this too. Like they'll say if there's going to be somebody, let's just say it's 2 months before the convention. Like MegaCon, I always reach out to Tony because I got his cell number, Tony Daniels, and I'll be like, hey.
It's number 3.
Yeah. And whether we keep in touch, I mean, we're at this point, we send family Christmas cards and all that. So we're like real cool. But anyway, I'll go ahead and pay for the commission with him before the con. Hey Matt, this is what I'm thinking. Here's a kind of a basic design, yay nay, what do you want to do, type thing like that. But if you can pay for some of these commissions before the con, that way you go into the con with X amount of money, you're ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. What about the rest of you? What else not just what you're going to buy there, but what else do you spend money on at a con? Like I think of hotel. I think of
Yep.
airline or gas. To me, those are the biggest expenses by far. Comics.
Yep. Comics. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I
I'm
mean,
looking at
especially for
different
Jeff.
Rogues comics
That's what
this
you go for.
weekend,
Yep.
so,
Yep. I went to preview night for San Diego and walked up to one of the first booths I went to, and there was a nice copy of Batman #7. And I was like, that's really cool.
yeah.
So yeah, I spent a big chunk of money right off the bat walking in the door.
So do you
Yeah.
have like XYZ number in mind, or do you just kind of go, I'm just going to go with the flow?
Well, I own 8 and 9, so finding a nice 7 made sense.
Man,
There's a 10 on eBay I'd love to own, but the person's asking twice what it's worth.
yikes.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome
you know,
to eBay.
if you ever get 1 through 10, you're pretty good.
I've owned all of them at one time or another, but not at the same time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So your biggest expense obviously is actually at the con. And I feel like most of the cons you go to are pretty local, like they're pretty close to you. But you do have to spend hotel and you do have to drive and stuff. but-
$1,200 for San Diego hotel.
Okay.
And that's one that's far away from the convention center. I have to shuttle in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. What about you guys? Any advice on budgeting for how you guys do the show?
I like to give a lot of thought to what I might buy at the show. So I pay pretty close attention. You know, my focus tends to be on the art. I don't do the same giant size commissions that you and more Mr. Martin does.
Yeah.
But although you of late, Chris,
I know.
I don't get involved in that so much, but you know, I'll look at, you know, which artists do I want to visit for either signatures on books I might already have. Maybe I want a head sketch. You guys will see when I do get around to doing this room tour, the stairway that leads up to the room that I'm in here, I've got original art lining both sides of the stairway. So
Wow, cool.
I've got that is really cool. And they're all the same size. They're all 9 by 12.
Love that.
So that came out real nice. So but those kinds of things I'll think about before I go, and I can put a number to those things. You know, I know roughly how much a head sketch costs from, you know, an A-level artist to a B-level artist or below. And in terms of unanticipated on-site expenses, usually it ends up being comic books. If I find a really good deal on a book I've always loved, or, you know, like I'll give you an example. Matt and I last year at MegaCon, we bumped into a booth where a guy had 2 beautiful copies of Batman 608. I mean, beautiful copies. And we were convinced, Matt and I scrutinized those books, and both of us were convinced those are 9/8 books. We got it for, was it $200 a piece, Matt?
He said they were uncirculated.
Uncirculated
Wow.
books that come out of a comic book shop that had closed, and the whole story was there, right? And they looked like that, $200 a piece, and both are 9/8. Came back 9/8.
It's awesome.
So things like that, you know, special books that I run into, or if I'm looking for a book, I'll maybe, you know, say, okay, if I find it at this kind of price range. So I'd be lying if I didn't say that I usually spend over the number I had in mind, but I've kind of learned over the years and gotten better about it. I usually fare with my target.
I'd say the only thing that I've seen that you've really been hit with is probably like, you know, Choice Fine Art and coming out with an Alex Ross or something like that, where you weren't necessarily anticipating, but then you see it on the wall. You're like, yep, it's got to come home.
A couple of times that has happened.
Well,
You can see one of them
have
behind me.
Me and Dan will talk about like, hey, we're budgeting, MegaCon or whatever con we're going to. And then I was like, well, whatever your budget is, you got to have an extra 1,000 for, oh shit, you know, for like, oh shit, I got to have it, you know.
Well, that happened to me with the David Finch Man Bat. You guys were standing right next to me. We're flipping through the book, and I'm like, yeah, I've got $1,200.
I was really happy you bought it, because I would have bought it if you didn't.
Really? All right. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it from you though, too. Like, I feel bad, but that's a special piece. I felt connected to it somehow too, because I literally watched him draw that from a blank page to a finished copy. Like I watched the entire live stream when it happened. I just thought it was a really, really cool piece. So I was glad you spent the $1,200, because now I can I was going to say, well, if it ever goes out of the collection, you're the first one I'll think of. Okay. But yeah, it's like, you know, those expensive you're not planning on, but sometimes just things happen. And if you have the funds and you can do it, you're like, I just have to do it.
I've also narrowed the number of cons down
Yes.
that I go to. There's just no need. I used to go to quite a few, and now I'm just kind of like, no, I think I'm going to go to one, maybe two big ones a year and a couple of small ones as they come up.
Yeah.
Usually don't spend a ton of money at the smaller ones. They don't tend to attract the same level of artist or artwork for that matter.
Yeah.
So that helps too on the overall budget, you know, and makes building the buffer in, to Matt's point, a little easier when you're not going to these things once every 6-8 weeks.
Yeah. Well, and where you used to live, I feel like you were probably closer to a lot of those because there was a lot of events up there. I felt like
there were a lot within, I'd say 2 to 3 hours. Well, certainly 4 hours. There were,
but drivable distances. Yeah.
Drivable. There's also a lot here. They're a little bit further range, you know, 6 to 8, but there's definitely a lot in the Southeast as well that have all of a sudden become more attainable. But I'm trying not to look. I'm not.
What's the one in Atlanta?
Dragon.
Yeah. So has anybody ever done Dragon Con? That's one I hear about. That's like another good con.
I heard it's good, but even before anime came as huge as it has been these past 3 to 5 years, it was huge there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big percentage of that con.
Yeah.
I want to highlight this. Eric says if anybody needs New York Comic Con 24 tickets, I have a few extra 4-day badges for sale. So
yeah, I have a press pass, and my family's not going this year, so I have a few extras. I have 3 extras.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, now I got to figure out if I want to go to New York Comic Con. But we're really excited. Of course, we're going to be doing MegaCon. We're still see if we can still convince this guy right here.
Come on, Jeff. You got to come down.
Worth
They
going.
got some good comic vendors down
Worth the
there.
trip.
And Disney.
4 shows in the past 5 months.
Yeah, you're burned out. You're burned out. Yeah.
Got to get you to Disney, though. We got to get you to Universal. We got to get you there. That's right. We're not gonna stop. We're just gonna keep hounding you.
I'll direct you to my wife.
All right. Maybe we need like a notarized letter or something to make it look official. Like it's like please let Jeff go, please. But yeah, any other advice, guys, about?
I would just say start budgeting hypothetically if the con's in February. Start budgeting 3 to 4 months before. You know, I mean, like, hey, even if it's 200 to 300 here and there or whatever, you'll still, with respect, you know, it's the end. You know, have 1,000 or so.
I mean, you could absolutely go to a convention and not buy a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like my friend Damon, you know, he goes every single year. He doesn't buy anything. Like he just likes to go. He likes to people watch. He likes to just look at all the nerdy stuff. I think out of all the years we've ever gone to a con, I think he's only bought one thing, and that was like a Funko Pop because he had collected. He was collecting specifically the old like 70s cereal characters.
Oh yeah, those are great.
He's a teacher also, and he had his classroom, and he had a lot of those displayed and stuff like that in his room. And I was like, those are fun to collect, you know, just like if you find just a specific thing to collect. And but you know, it's just you can go and absolutely not spend any money. Obviously, the hotel and the travel part of it, and food too. Don't forget about going out to eat and traveling on the road and so all of that does add up. But once you get to the convention itself, you can not spend a thing. But for me personally, it's like I would at least give yourself a little spending money. At least if you find something that's fun, go for it. You're not some of this stuff you're not going to always find. You're not going to find it at Walmart or Target. So I don't know. Like I said, like you said, Matt, $200 or $300 or whatever. Give yourself a little bit of a budget if you can afford it. So yeah, let's see. Cal L says, I went to a con with my buddy in Denver once and didn't buy anything. I just wanted to watch baseball that weekend, so I went along for the ride. Well, there you go. Yep. So again, there's a little bit of an expense, but you can absolutely go without spending a dime if you didn't want to. So I think that pretty much wraps that up. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we look at photos?
So I've been kicking tires on 2 sideshow pieces, and I can't decide if I'm going to order them or not.
All right, let's see if we can. Oh, hold on, just a second. I gotta put up the appropriate. Here we go. Boom. All right, hashtag enabled.
I think I can guess one of them.
Which one?
Me too.
Red Sonya. What else?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I thought.
And
The
the other one is the
vampire left
vampire. The vampire, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the vampire list.
No, well,
Now you got 3.
let me clarify. 2 pieces that are now in stock.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, definitely the it's Red Sonja for sure.
Red Sonja and Mr. Sin.
I was just going to say Mr. Sin. God, you said
How have you not bought that yet?
That's a good one.
To me,
There's,
when
there's 2 things with that piece. One is the depth is a little challenging for me. And the other is, there's not so much talk about it on the streaming shows, but there's a lot of talk about it on statue form. The paint job is a little bit off-putting. They really did go very dark, like she's down in a cave. And the 2 batches that have come out so far are different. The first batch wasn't quite as dark. The second batch that shipped recently, I mean, it looks like she's been out in the sun for a week and a half. I mean,
really.
I know they're going for the forced lighting, whatever, environmental paint, whatever, but I'm not quite sure that I think maybe they went too far, or at least with this batch. So that bothers me a little bit too. And it might be the same with the next one in that line.
she's like underwater.
The next one is, yeah. So like Theodore is saying, lighting is crucial with that particular piece. Well, I'm not that motivated to do special lighting for one piece in my collection. So that's my problem with those 2 pieces. And the thing about Red Sonja is I have the 3rd Red Sonja, which I love.
It's the best one in my opinion.
Yeah. And the other thing is that whenever I buy a piece that's lunging forward, I usually end up selling it because it looks out of place in my otherwise pretty much museum pose collection. Those are the things that,
Somebody posted a picture of the 2 of them, the last re-release and the new one today, and the same thing you just said. The newer one, because it's more dynamic, it just looked out of place next to everything else on the shelf that was like museum pose. It's just like similar to what you have, so you probably would feel like that if you got it in.
I was just gonna say I agree with that. Like when they started doing that direction with the DC pieces, like there was the Batgirl flying through the window and Joker on the pogo stick. Like those didn't look very good next to the static figures.
Right.
So I 100% agree with you on that. I mean, it is an absolutely gorgeous statue, but it would probably bother you. I think you're right.
Right. So I still have them. I still look at them every day, but I haven't pushed the button.
Do you think that the Mr. Sin will be around for a while? Like you maybe could pick up one of the original releases if somebody's selling down the road?
Well, I mean, they made 800 of them. It's a pretty good number, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm even, I even have that educator's discount, which gave me about $100 off. I just don't know. It's a great Harbottle piece. I think the sculpt is fantastic, but I'm worried that the factory might have not done too well on the.
I wonder if it looks better in person too, because JWR has the Joker back there. Here, let me get this banner off here. You have that Joker back there, and when you look at that Joker, the paint on it looks pretty awful. But then for whatever reason, as soon as you actually get it on the statue, it looks fantastic. It really works. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder if Mr. Sin suffers from that a little bit too, especially in photos. Like I wonder if you got it. I mean, maybe if you got it and if you didn't like the paint, you could send it back.
I got their Psylocke, which had the same sort of paint job, that nighttime paint. And she looked like she didn't have blood coursing through her veins.
She was dark. I saw her in person too. I agree with that.
Yeah, and Jerry from Collective Minds had his repainted, and it looks so much better. It's dramatically better. So that's a concern. The funny thing is, these things all come in the styrofoam insert. So when you have a Mr. Sin, whatever her name is, when you open up that styrofoam, it looks like a crispy critter in there. That bright white styrofoam. It looks ridiculous. So
it's like Christopher Walken after he's been electrocuted in Batman Returns.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture later. I think you'll be surprised.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan says Mr. Sin's pain is terrible. I'm sorry, stay away. So
Wow.
there you go. Dylan says this may be strange, but the teeth on the new Red Sonja are the best teeth I've seen on a statue. I have it next to statues that are standing, and I don't care. It stands or leaps out in a good way. So that's a positive. That's
You know
positive.
what? I love it when teeth look really good on a statue. It's one of my things. I just like the teeth on the LBS Hulk are fantastic.
That's great. I was going to say, I mean, it definitely stands out. You know, they can make it adds to the realism, I think.
Totally.
For sure. Theodore's asking if Ryan has it in hand. I would be curious to know that as well. But I mean, I still love that statue. To me, when I think of a sanctuary piece, I think of that piece. Like, I don't know why. Like, it just feels like it fits your collection so well.
I like it too a lot, but I don't know.
But her head doesn't detach, right? It's all part of the body. So like, it's not like you could. It's not like you could just paint it that easily. You'd still have to send the whole body to somebody like Eric B., who's a phenomenal painter.
Wouldn't it be great if Sideshow would like go to conventions and stuff? So
What?
Wouldn't that be something?
What is this craziness that you're talking about?
Crazy talk.
Well, she looked good at that collector's con that Marcos had. She looked pretty good on video. I like the paint on it.
But maybe again, that was maybe one of the first. I mean, he might get an early copy.
Maybe he has more. You can contact him.
Maybe
that's actually not a bad idea. Contact
I'll
Marcos.
get my $100 off from him though.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe with a cheap plug or something. Maybe you never know.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. You never know. Ryan says he just doesn't like the forced shadow, and I understand what Sideshow's doing, but I can see why some people it's a little off-putting to them. I can see that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Are we ready for photos?
Photos.
All right. Thank you again to the 180 people watching. I appreciate you guys. You're amazing. Let's go look at some photos. All right. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
She has teeth.
All right. Can you guys see it okay?
Oh, there she is.
Yep.
All right. So this is some photos. This is actually, I think, from Sirius.
Yep.
Beautiful photos of the Red Sonja. Again, she has started to ship. She is beautiful. I mean, it is maybe not everybody's cup of tea with her rage face or whatever, and maybe it's not as good as some of the old one Sideshow has done. But I can definitely see why Jeff wants it. I mean, it's a beautiful figure, very dynamic.
People who have it in hand seem to really like it.
I love some of the speckles of blood on her bandages and throughout her body.
Yep.
It's very subtle. It's not like heavy, but I think it's well done. I think she's
I like the faces in the base are really cool too.
Yeah, I got some photos of that too. I think the skin looks really good too. Just the overall paint scheme.
Yeah.
Looks nice on her. There's your teeth right there.
Yeah.
Teeth are really good.
The flosses.
Yeah, that's right. Pearly whites.
You got freckles.
Yep, got the freckles. I like when they do the earrings too through the polystone. I think that's a pretty nice touch.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. But there's the faces in the base.
That's
that looks
pretty
cool.
That's
That looks cool. Yeah.
So that is fun. And kind of that blood shiny red. It looks really great. Some different angles of it.
Nice coloring on there.
But yeah, congratulations to everybody that picked this one up.
It is tempting.
Yeah. And again,
These photos are tempting.
Yeah, I mean she's gorgeous. I mean, it's a very dynamic.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That's right. Hashtag enabled.
Come on now.
Live pre-order tonight.
I didn't even want her. Now I'm enabled.
Yeah. Let me go back to this photo for you, Eric. There you go.
And you see
Boobies.
all the detail. Yeah.
Oh, so many jokes, so little time.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's beautiful. Very
I don't
dynamic.
think you'll regret it, Jeff. Put it that way.
Yeah, I don't either. And like if you try it and it doesn't work, sell her.
Right.
She's always going to be in demand. Everybody loves the Sony pieces. They're not sitting on shelves.
That's true.
I mean, they've sold very well.
So like in order for her to fit on your shelf, you have to like angle her a little bit, right? Does that work out?
Probably, yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm using Billy bookcases. They're only 11 inches deep, and this thing is like at least 15.
Yeah, she really. I mean, if you look at the angle, she really sticks out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, beautiful piece. That's the art box right there. All right, so here's the penguin that we were talking about. Thanks everybody that's watched the video from earlier today. These were released on Darkside's new website, and I think it's very good. I'm very intrigued. What do you guys think about the overall likeness and pose and whatnot?
Looks promising.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yep.
Yeah, just the fact that we're even getting one is great.
I don't know how I must have skipped some photos here. They must be here in a bit, but I do think the likeness is pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with your video from this morning. It's about 95%.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's
had an umbrella, something a little bit more like fun in his hands instead of this one pose.
Yeah, and there is the alternate umbrella look. I maybe would have liked it with him holding it a little differently, but I think I've got those photos here in just a minute. Sorry guys, I have them out of order.
So is he mixed media, like fabric?
They've not done fabric before, so I would imagine this is going to be sculpted.
Right.
Looks like fabric.
Wow,
It does look like fabric, but I don't. Jeff, they've never done it as far as I know, right?
I don't think they have.
See, I think everything's been sculpted, although maybe that's something new they would try. I think it actually would look really good if it was fabric. Just the outer coat, not the inner coat, but
Yeah.
just like if everything else was sculpted and the black coat was fabric, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
This is the Martine Canale. This piece, I don't feel like it's been very well received in the community, but they are offering a limited edition variant, and I actually think it looks a lot better in black. What do you guys think?
I think it does look better in black, and then the second head sculpt.
Yep.
As well.
All right, now obviously I'm back to in order again. So I'll show you a few more photos of the penguin if anybody has missed that today. Good Lord, I'm all over the place.
Now we're back to Batman.
What is going on? How do I have it
Let's
so
add
out
a
of order?
third one. Throw in a third one, and then we'll be good.
All right, well, I guess we're just going to go back and forth. That's what we're going to do.
Challenge.
We're gonna mix it up a little bit tonight, but I do like the base. I think the penguins are fun, and it's minimal, it's simplistic.
Yep.
But it looks good.
I like it.
All right, back to Batman. I think it was very smart that they did the newer portrait.
Yep.
They're not offering the long-eared one with this version, so I think that was smart.
It's a
I
great
like the second
portrait. The
better
pose
than
is
the
just
portrait.
yeah.
Not that I love the longer ears, but I do like the longer ears for some reason on this statue, because like I said the last time, everything else is so elongated on the statue with the cape and the stretching of the arms. I don't know. I just kind of like the long ear portrait better.
Do you all agree that this is a better look with the black and gray?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
It's amazing how the paint can make it look better. I don't know why, but it just really does for me. But the new portrait, it really makes it a lot better in my opinion.
Agreed.
All right.
Penguin.
Yeah, there's a little bit closer of the penguin. You definitely see DeVito there for sure. Like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
95 for me.
Definitely right in the middle.
Yeah, maybe his face might. I feel like maybe his eyes are too close together.
Yeah, there's something like if I look like directly at his eyes, nose, mouth, I see it, but like then I don't know, like something with the head seems weird.
It's like maybe they just need his eyes, nose, and mouth. If they just spread it out a little bit further on the face, maybe it would look right. I just feel like something's not right with the eyes for me. But you can tell it's DeVito for sure.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be one that I'd pick up.
What's interesting to me about this Batman, the black variant, is how they're selling it, that 2-week window. You know, there's a countdown clock on the website. You know, you've got 8 more days to order this or you can't get it anymore, I guess.
Do you feel like Sideshow is surprised by how people responded to this one?
To the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think they're surprised anytime they have a Batman statue with an edition size of 300.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Martine's work, but this is not one of my favorites of his.
It's so much going on. Like with the bats on the arm, the cape, the pose, it's just too much. I was excited when they were teasing it, but when I saw it, I was like, not one of my favorites.
It's just very stylized, and that might not be for everybody, you know? It's not like it's just a little different. All right. Well, we've talked about Batman and Penguin. I did want to show the umbrella. It does add a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that goes to show it's sculpted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. So anyway, Penguin coming in 2029.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for them. I talked to the rep the other day, and it sounds like they just have several DC projects that are ready to go, and they just can't get word from Warner Brothers.
Well, and it just feels like they've had factory issue and shipping issue after. I mean, it's just bad. It's been bad luck after bad luck for them, because I do feel like they are a very good company. They put out a good product.
Yeah.
You know, you have some in hand, Jeff, and you've been very impressed. Like, I look at this, I'm like, this is awesome. I think this is great. I would love to have this in my collection.
Yeah.
And so I continue to wish them success. I just feel like they've had a really bad run of luck.
Yep.
And I hope collectors continue to give them a chance, because I really feel like there's talent there. And so, you know, I'm still excited and rooting for Darkseid. I just know that they've, you know, I think that they've lost some confidence in collectors lately, but it's not, I just don't think it's their fault. I think they're just beholden to bad situations.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a shout out to Jay Sia with the big news this week that they have officially, even though we already knew it, that they have officially obtained the Marvel license. And so Jay actually put out a video on YouTube or somewhere this week, and he thanked XM. And so I don't know if somehow XM still made that happen. I don't really know if that's what he was alluding to or not, or if he's just completely on his own still. But regardless, a lot of collectors are going to be in good hands, because they're going to do some really great third scale comic book based pieces. And so, anything you guys want to say about that news?
I think he's still on his own. I think he was just thanking XM because they kind of showed him how to do this, how to do a licensed statue company, because he was doing customs prior to that.
Yep.
And they were really integral in showing him the way.
Yep. I think that's absolutely correct. And again, I wish much success to both companies. They do really great work. But I am excited that they're going to be able to continue to do these pieces that they originally teased that people thought they were going to have to scrap.
Right.
And again, I think I love the Spider-Man. It's one of my favorite Spider-Mans I've ever seen. So I'm really happy for collectors.
And he's got Thanos and Venom. Those are the three for this year.
It's awesome. And we've seen those before. They've had them teased in person.
Yep.
He recently teased this one as well. So we have the Cyborg Superman that they're going to be doing in third scale. Obviously a very, very early render.
Yep.
Superman we talked about earlier. Again, I still think it's a beautiful statue. Obviously, again, the fact, and also I forgot to mention that they're doing the headstands, which I thought was a nice touch. I wish that they had done that for the third scale.
Have you got the image of it next to the quarter scale Batman?
I don't think I have it.
They look kind of cool together. I mean, the Batman is such a shorter piece, but
yeah,
they look really good side by side.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they probably work better in quarter scale than they did side by side with the quarter scale or the third scale, I think.
Yeah.
But here's the alternative portrait. You guys sounded like you guys really liked this one a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's got Jim Lee written all over it.
It's totally different. His hair is parted on the other side of his head.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right. It's definitely a variant then. See? Much more manageable base, obviously, but I do think that looks great. Here's the two side by side, just to compare.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
great.
the skin tone on the new skin tone too. It seems a little bit more, I guess, tannish or darker. Looks real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so, because I thought the skin tone on the 1/3 was a little bit unhealthy looking.
Yeah, it's a little pasty.
Yeah.
A little pasty. So I think this, to me, this looks a little bit better. Here are the photos. These are not Jeff's, I don't think, but these are from D23, and Jeff talked about this piece a little bit and thought it looked decent.
I think that really is my photo.
No, is it? It might be.
Yeah.
The Indian guy.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, I mean, you could definitely see Harrison Ford there.
Yeah.
I put it more like 90% maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Harrison Ford is notoriously very difficult to get the likeness.
Yeah, I said
down.
that in my video. It's totally true.
Yeah, it's just
the base is really cool.
I love the base. I actually like the base the best.
Yeah.
Of the whole statue. That's fun. Looks like it had a nice paint technique too.
Yep.
In-hand photos of the brand new Hulk. This is the quarter scale Hulk, and this one was sculpted by Daniel Bell.
Wow, it's big.
So there is the green and then also the red variant as well.
Mhm.
But what have you guys thought about the in-hand photos?
It looks cool.
I was looking at Fatal's pictures today. He had the red and the green back to back. It looked pretty cool, like on a turntable.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but someone on Facebook says something really funny. He said, the pose reminds me of when I get up in the morning and I do that full body stretch.
Yeah.
You remember all the memes that came out when it first was shown? It was pretty funny.
Full body stretch followed up by stepping on a Lego.
There you go.
We've all done that. That hurts. Dan, did you see the Nightmare Before Christmas thing that they teased for Lego?
I did not.
It looks really cool.
Really?
I saw it.
Yeah.
We're big Lego people too, and I showed my wife. She was like, "Yeah, we got to get that."
Yeah, I'm going to get that. It's got the moon and it's got some of the buildings. It's really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty funny. Illinois Jones.
But anyway, I think this looks great. I think it turned out really nice. Congratulations to anybody that's a Hulk fan. It is shipping now at Sideshow, and here's a great collection photo here of.
Oh, that's a setup.
I like that
That's
a
a
lot.
good setup.
Yeah, doesn't that look amazing?
Yep.
And it's very dynamic. Just looks great.
Might be hard to get that Thor at this point.
I was going to say, I know that they had one down at the comic store in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I seen one at Midtown Comics in New York.
Yeah, so I mean, you might be able to find them at some of the comic shops. Yeah, it looks great. And then here's the red. Right here. Obviously a different portrait,
Mm-hmm.
but same sculpt otherwise.
Maybe these will sell a little better now with the new Captain America movie, the Red Hulk.
Yeah, Harrison Ford as the president turning into Hulk.
Yep.
We got a
Pretty cool. Looked good.
Indiana
When
Jones.
do you think they'll put the other two up for pre-order?
Is it weird that they haven't?
It's really weird.
So do you just assume it's canceled at this point?
No, I think they're spreading them out.
But I mean, these are shipping already, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still crazy to me.
Yeah.
Teeth
What
look good.
What was the other one?
Gray Hulk.
Yeah, gray. Yeah, gray.
Mhm.
I like the Gray Hulk. I'm a big fan of the Gray Hulk. So,
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep. Me too.
This looks great. I love the feet are kind of dirty. Looks good. So this one is from Sideshow, and I guess I didn't realize apparently they're going to do two different versions. Is that right, guys?
Well, they announced this version after they had already put the other one up for pre-order. So
Okay.
it would have been nice if people had known there was going to be another version, but I think most people prefer the other one anyway.
Love the light up feature on it.
Yeah.
It's very much like that kind of the Iron Man
Mm-hmm.
that they did so well a couple years back. But this one's up for pre-order right now as well.
Not cheap.
Not cheap. But again, I feel like the light up
Oh, that's really
looks
cool.
really good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's very cool. Did you see the announcement, Jeff, that they're updating the ride at Disneyland the Millennium Falcon. They're going to update it to a Mandalorian scene.
Oh, yeah. I read that just today.
Yeah,
I
that'll
saw
be
something today. They're working on an Iron Man ride. They had Tony and the head guy from Disney on the ride.
That's in Hong Kong.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we don't get nice things here in the United States.
Yeah.
The things that they are working on at Disneyland is the Avengers e-ticket ride, which is going to be like the Spider-Man ride, using the same ride technology as Spider-Man or Transformers. And so that's coming to DCA along with it's called a KUKA arm. And it's kind of like this flight test experience that they're going to do. So I think it looks fun. I think everybody's going to throw up on it. I know my wife would for sure, but those are the ones that are coming to the parks in Anaheim. Good Lord, this Batman. We're just going to keep coming back to this Batman like 12 times, apparently.
I feel like
it's how I messed that up.
So like he's like, if I keep showing it, somebody will buy this.
Yeah,
because I'm Batman.
I did kind of like him when you showed him the very last photo last time where he was facing the other to the left.
There are good things about it. Again, this is not necessarily what I want, but I mean, it is growing on me a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a really awkward pose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it like hanging off a pole like that.
Yeah, it's just maybe the way the body's positioned. Maybe
yeah.
I like the bats. I mean, I like this like the bat transition here. It's very kind of steampunky kind of down here, which I know like Dan and I love. But I don't know. It's just something about it. I don't know.
It just looks like
right there.
That's it right there. Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of cool. It kind of has like a Spider-Man vibe to it. Like
very much. Yep.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, people were saying that right from day one. That has a Spider-Man vibe.
Maybe Martine always wanted to do a Spider-Man, but Sideshow wouldn't let him. It's like, there you go, Sideshow. Here's my Spider-Man.
But from the front view, I mean, it looks like he's tripping or something. It just looks really awkward.
I don't know what the optimal angle is here from Sideshow.
It doesn't look as busy. It looks more open from that side angle. Yeah.
Two-Face has started to ship. I should hopefully get mine any day now. But this is the quarter scale version. Also, the 6 scale, I believe, is shipping. Wonder Woman shipping. There's a number of pieces that are out the door in the United States finally after a couple of delays. Again, congratulations to Josh. Again, Josh, you said you love the portrait. You really liked the hole in the face. You know, it's just there was a lot of things that you really liked about it.
It just looks really good. Like, this is a great Two-Face. I've heard people say it's too simple, but I mean, Two-Face, it just captures everything from the comic books about Two-Face to me. The suit, the coin, the portrait looks really good in person. And like, you can kind of see the texture in the suit in this photo close up.
Yeah, you can see it.
It
just doesn't come across on camera very well. Like in person, you can really, especially on the white, like the white looks washed out in these photos, but when you see it, it's textured. It looks really good.
Yeah, I've seen some bad photos where the face is just blown out and you don't see the colors in it.
Yeah. And just again, go ahead.
It was worth the wait.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to make Two-Face real complex. I feel like. I mean, I think the Prime 1 did a really good job with that burnt suit effect that they did, but like classic Two-Face, it's very simple colors. There's not a lot to him, and so I think that if they could have done it today, they probably would have added a gun and some blood or something. I know that there was a lot of things Chad really wanted to do with this piece, but was turned down. Including that I know that he wanted to at least approach like a blue face, but it was just not. It was what Warner Brothers said no to. So
Can you go back down to the base again?
Yeah.
Is that a cigarette or is that just
that is a lit match?
Oh, okay.
It was broken on mine on the prototype. It was because it was so tiny. Because I had the 6 scale, and so the idea is that he's thrown down the match, and here's the gasoline dripping down, and all of the dynamite's hidden below. So there is some storytelling elements to it, which I love. But I'm really excited to get that in. And here you can see kind of a smorgasbord of some Sideshow pieces over the years, but they all sure do look good together.
They really do.
Looks awesome. Again, some of they're with the flash, they look really blown out.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has that classic dent portrait.
So
This collector had some breakage, so there has been a few reports of some breakage. I know they will replace it, obviously, if yours is broken. Did you have any issues with yours?
No, I was talking with Billy, and he was telling me about a few people's coins was broken, some pieces on the base. So he said, be real careful when you take it out. And I inspected everything, and I can't tell if anything's broken. But Chad did say the optimum viewing point for the piece is with the coin dead center in the middle. So that way he could, he wanted more of the monster to show versus the human.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
they're asking in the chat how he sizes with other premium formats like DC or Sideshow premium formats.
I know Beth in the group said he looked a little small compared to the other POs.
I think that, like, I mean, you could see him right next to that Joker. I feel like he, like, at least body wise, I think he pairs up pretty nice. What do you think, JWR? Now that you have it in person there,
I think he pairs up really well. I got him next to Catwoman right now.
Cool.
So they
Good.
look, because somebody was saying that in the group that it's more like 1/5, and when I got him in here, I was like, I don't see the 1/5. I see a true 1/4.
he looks true 1/4 to me.
Mhm.
I think maybe because his base is a little shorter, maybe he comes across that way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
You know, and so I think maybe, or even, you know, could maybe put him up on a little bit of a riser or something. And but I think proportion wise, he looks good. It looks the same as the other quarter scales. This is the what was this, Pure Arts? This is that variant that they did of that Superman. So they've done a couple of different versions, but this one has started to ship. I thought it was kind of interesting with the white and kind of blue.
That's cool.
Kind of looks kind of neat. These are the other ones that they've done.
It's like the cell shading, they call it.
Yeah. This one is going up for pre-order this week. This is the Blitzway Prime 1 Studio Keanu Reeves. I feel like, to me, the likeness isn't quite as good as what they showed before, in my opinion. I feel like he looks really good with the glasses, but what do you guys think? Like, when we look at some of the different angles, again, I feel like it looks pretty good, but I don't feel like it's as good as their John Wick.
The one without the glasses, if I just had like a tight shot on his face, I couldn't even tell you that that's Keanu Reeves.
He was so much
Yeah, I
younger
agree
in that
with
movie, though.
Yes.
Yeah, but
That's true.
I still don't. For me, that does not look like Keanu Reeves. I don't know what it is, but
There was another picture, I think, right there.
that's not him at all.
I feel like
Looks like
there's
Tom Cruise Mission Impossible.
yeah. I feel like what they showed before, and maybe people really thought that they would, you know, he would always have the glasses on, which I think is fine with the glasses. But
So then it must be the eyes.
maybe it is. I don't know. There's just something off. Like, I just was looking at these today. I'm like, am I missing something? Like, because I feel like before it looked a little bit better, but
It is weird to see him without a beard.
Yeah, I need some side-by-side pictures
Yeah,
of how he
and it
was
is-
back then.
I mean, and it is. It's very young Keanu. This is like, you know, back when he was doing movies like Speed and some of these other movies.
Speed, he barely, you know, he has a totally different. He looks very young in Speed, like point,
Mhm.
like you don't even recognize him anymore.
So I mean, maybe I'm just forgetting to some degree, but anyway, he is going up for pre-order. This one's quarter scale, right?
No, this is 1/3.
Oh, this is 1/3. Okay. No, but the John Wick was the quarter scale. That's right.
Quarter, yeah.
That's right.
So this is $13.99.
Yikes.
Well, guys,
Cha-ching.
I gotta go. I gotta get up early in the morning for a flight. But I'll
You
post
got-
pics and send pics to the group at Terrificon. And
Yeah, and
have a good night.
Matt, if you want to film any of it, and we'll put it on the channel so we can experience what you're experiencing, especially with the Jim Lee stuff. That'd be awesome.
All right, cool deal. All right, thank
Awesome.
you guys. All right, y'all
Okay.
have a
All
Later,
right.
man.
Have a safe flight.
See you, Matt.
Yep. Bye-bye.
It's going from pics of Keanu to really going to see Keanu, hopefully.
That's right. That would be pretty neat. We saw Penguin earlier. This is another Penguin that they've teased. This is from Beast Kingdom. It's going to be one of their figures. So we haven't seen the full reveal yet, but they're going to be doing a figure. So if you are a figure collector,
Winston.
this is Winston. What do you guys think of this sculpt? I've seen a few pictures of him now. I know that they had him at San Diego Comic-Con too.
It's off.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like him at all to me.
And I just don't. I think they've done really well with some of their other portraits, but this one is a miss for me.
Yep.
So maybe they'll continue to tweak it. I know Ant has done that before, so
Yep.
I think they'll sell a lot more if they just update that just a bit.
For sure.
Yeah, there's just something.
Just doesn't look
It's
like
the eyebrows or the eyes or the combination of the two that just throws me completely off.
Or maybe like the whole face.
Yeah, it's just not right. Something's not right.
It just doesn't look like him at all.
It just
Eyes,
doesn't.
nose, mouth.
This is the cosplayer version of him. Yeah, that doesn't look like him at all right there.
No.
This is continuing on. This is Pure Arts, I think, if I remember right. And this is part of their cyberpunk statue line that they've done.
Is that a fire truck on there?
They did a Keanu video game version of that we saw that at San Diego a couple years ago. This is the second in the series.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think she's fun. So if you're a fan of that video game, I think this would be a fun one to add.
Yep.
I thought this was really good. These are, gosh, who was doing this? Now I can't remember.
I was going to share it. I couldn't remember where it was from either.
But it's a licensed company. I can't remember who's doing it. But I thought that Angry Michelle Pfeiffer looked really good right there.
All three look good.
So that's going to be one of the 6-scale figures. But I'll try to find out because I can't remember who was making it. This is Iron Studios is putting out a Walt Disney statue, which I thought was kind of cool.
So I thought about buying this. It's a D23 exclusive. They're also selling it at another convention later in the year. It's only the edition size is just 500. But man, 1/10 is just so damn small.
It's tiny.
It is really tiny.
It's tiny, man.
If this had been like 1/6, I think I would have bought it.
Me too. I'm right there with you, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree.
But man, 1/10, and he's seated. I mean, that piece is going to be like that tall. No exaggeration.
It was pretty small, and it's $250. And I was like, I just couldn't do it.
What did you think of the announcement of them doing a Walt Disney animatronic at Disneyland?
Oh, I think that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that.
I do too. I saw the patent a couple months ago where they said that they were going to put a turntable in that theater. And that was when people kind of started speculating that they would rotate the Lincoln show with the Walt Disney show.
Right.
I know his family, for the most part, is very against it. But they had like one great nephew or something that agreed to it. And so I know that there's going to be some backlash from the Disney family, but I think it's a really cool idea. I like the idea.
That seems weird they'd be against it. It's going to be inspirational. I mean,
sure, it's going to be his voice, his quotes.
Yeah.
They've said that they're going to take audio directly from things he said before. So
I'm sure.
The comments are saying that Catwoman was jazzing.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, chat. Yeah, Jazz Inc. That's correct. This is another piece that they teased.
This is pretty cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought this one looked fun.
Right out of X-Men 97 when like first episode 1 when they were fighting the Sentinels. That was really cool.
Looks good.
That's going to do well for them, I think.
I would think so. Especially with the resurgence of Gambit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yep.
This has started to ship, and man, I just think this looks so much fun. We got a chance to see this one in, what was it, last year, right, Jeff, at San Diego?
Yeah. I saw it at Monsterpalooza, and then at San Diego, and then I saw the new 1/3 scale at both places as well.
It just has so much presence.
I've thought about the 1/3 scale. I think it's like 1,500 or something.
Gosh, that seems like a lot, though.
Well, yeah. I mean,
for what you're getting. Yeah, for what you're. Yeah. How much was the life size? Was it really awful?
I want to say like 4,500 or something like that.
That doesn't seem too bad.
ECC tends to be fairly high cost, but the problem that I have with ECC is that I've never seen a production piece. I only see prototypes at conventions.
Yeah.
I have no idea if their factories are doing a good job or not.
I mean, this is this is delivered, so this looks good to me.
Yeah, it looks great.
Like, I feel like that is better at a value at 45 than whatever the 3rd scale was. I feel like you're getting more bang for your buck.
Oh yeah, I mean, people loved it at Monsterpalooza. They were taking pictures with it, and
it was sizable.
Yeah.
I have a few photos here. They're not very good, but they're kind of a color test that Sideshow was doing. I don't know if this was meant to be leaked or meant to be posted.
I think it was meant to be.
But gives you kind of an idea. I think people were kind of iffy about the paint here.
Well, people are wondering about that patch on his arm that looks like a heart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And there's the alternate portrait, which we hadn't had a chance to see yet.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought it was kind of interesting that they did that because Sideshow Collectibles usually just does whatever they want. So that was kind of cool, like that. Maybe they were kind of trying to test the audience for a little bit of feedback on the colors and stuff.
Could be. Yeah, as I say, I don't remember them ever doing something quite like that.
So folks in the chat are saying ECC production pieces are really, really great. So that's good to hear.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. A couple of Hot Toys pieces here. I thought this was interesting. So this is Avengers Campus. So this is based on Disneyland or other theme parks that use Iron Man with this special suit. So I thought that was kind of a Disney exclusive. I thought that was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Armor looks good.
Sounds extra expensive.
They're not cheap, that's for sure.
Anytime you see the statues at Disney, they're always more money.
Yeah. Don't buy them directly at Disney. Don't do that. They also had a new rocket.
So who's this?
This is Rocket.
No, I mean, is this Iron Studios or someone else?
This is Hot Toys.
Oh, Hot Toys. Got it.
Yeah, Hot Toys. Dog's looking pretty plasticky.
Yeah.
Real plasticky there. And Groot as well. So if you're a Guardians fan, those are some new ones coming. There's me with Ryan Brown. I mean, that's not actually a picture of Ryan Brown, but he's much more handsome than that.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And the camera just doesn't do it justice, as Eric will attest to.
Yeah.
Congratulations again to Eric on his Scarecrow.
Oh, thank you.
This was a McFarlane Toys I threw in here because I thought that was kind of a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a figure collector. And another one from Iron Studios. I thought that one was... I feel like they're doing a lot of really fun Disney pieces lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Iron Studios had a ton of them at their booth.
Yeah, they're really good. Alex Ross Joker. Did anybody pick this one up?
I think it was like an exclusive, right? I think they were selling it on the website, but he was like labeling it as a San Diego exclusive.
Pretty pricey.
Yeah, it was expensive, I think.
It's on at Sideshow, and I think it's $450 unframed or something.
Yeah, I think framed is like $850.
It's a lot. If I had space for it, I probably would pick this up. I just don't have a spot for it. So
I do like it. It's very, to me, it's very reminiscent of Conrad Viet.
Yes, very much so.
It just looks like him to me. I think it's a fun piece, and I like that it's that deckled edge that Dan and I like.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, so I had that out of order too. So this is this is that piece, and again, it's sizable.
Yeah, we'll expect
10
by 10.
That's fun.
Yeah, I like it. A few more pictures, and then we'll be wrapping it up, guys. This is the J&D Studio figures that they're doing, the Harry Potter stuff that they're working on.
Jeez, look at that.
Creepy.
That's
Really
creepy.
Yeah, very creepy.
Hate Harry Potter. I got stuck on Harry Potter.
I think Harry Potter's okay, but I feel like that's just okay. But then I feel like they did a really good job with Hermione.
Yep.
I'm assuming that these are silicone, just like the third scale pieces. I mean, it looks like silicone, but I'm not sure. So that was a rooted hair version. There's also sculpted hair. And Ron Reesley. I think he's the best of the bunch. I think they did a good job with his expression. So yeah, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you have some options. I think Prime 1 and I think In Art's also doing a version as well.
What do these sell for?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. They look really
I'm
good.
guessing expensive, but I have no idea. This is out of my wheelhouse. Thank God.
So it looked like Ron had sculpted hair and Hermione had.
Well, they're doing two different versions. They're doing sculpted. So like Hermione's got sculpted here, but then this is rooted.
Got it. Okay.
So it's like what Hot Toys does. It's like they're,
Right.
this is like the Kojin Works special edition ones. I want to give a shout out to Tweeterhead, who I believe this Elvira is getting ready to start shipping out to everyone. I know that they've had production samples, and she's looking great.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be shipping soon.
That's another one that I've been thinking about. I never pre-ordered it, but it looks like a fun piece.
I believe I'm going to have a chance, hopefully this week, to review her for everyone.
Oh, that's
I had
cool.
the biggest crush on her as a kid. Like,
She is fantastic.
She
mhm.
might look good with Frankie Reborn.
She really would. She really would look good. It's like, especially if like she's kind of standing back and you have
Yeah.
Frankie Reborn kind of in front.
Right. Hey, Dan, did you see that picture? Or maybe it was at Sideshow Con with the Frankenstein's monster next to Frankie Reborn.
No, I didn't.
It looked really good.
Was it? Oh, I can't wait for that piece.
Yeah, looked great.
Yeah.
If you find it, send it to us. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah,
that.
well,
Skeletor is being worked on as well in the factory. So I don't know about shipping dates, but
Skeletor on Panther.
yeah, that's right.
He looks like he's breakdancing right now.
He
I was
does.
just thinking that too.
Hey, it's like the Olympics, right? Did you guys see that footage? That was pretty
That's
funny.
That's really funny.
Oh, I love it. I
So,
love
Chris,
it.
I sent 2 pictures of Mr. Sin to our chat if you want to show them.
All right.
Just on your guys' opinion.
All right. Let me see if I can. Oh my gosh, is that real?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's not a good
Bad
sign.
reaction.
Yeah, this is pretty surprising, really.
Yeah, but the white's definitely going to throw off the white balance of the camera and all that.
Let's see. So this was
I don't know, it
Mr.
looks good
Sin
to me.
here. So
Ooh.
is there any way that she's that? I mean, obviously the person taking the photo, the shadow, you can see the shadow being cast here, right? So because you can see like there's a brighter color up here,
Yeah, on the left. Yeah.
but that is insanely dark.
Yeah.
So that's oh, hold on. The other one didn't upload. Let me try the other one. So there was an error. Okay, so here's the other, which it looks a little better here.
Yeah, looks more balanced. It's still dark, but it looks balanced. But when you take photos of anything with like white like that, it can distort the
Mhm.
the white
But
balance.
it's also kind of out of context because when you add her to the base and the way that they lit the base, I would assume it's all very intentional, but that does seem really dark. Ugh, I don't know. That just seems really dark.
I mean, I live at the beach. I see people who are really tan all the time, but that seems a little excessive.
Yeah. That's what happens to my face when I go in the sun. Like I completely turn like dark brown and then everything else is like, putrid white. So that's just the way it goes. But that might be concerning. I could see why you're iffy about it.
Right.
But again, what's the worst that could happen? You order it and you don't like it, you send it back.
Well, but then you lose shipping both ways.
Well, how much is shipping to you?
Not a lot.
You're a retired man now. You have all that money in savings, just waiting to be wasted on like, $40 shipping here. So what are you're gonna be out what, $80? Or worst case scenario, you sell it to somebody else that wants it.
Yeah.
Contact Marcos. He'll probably open it for you and show it to you.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I'm thinking about it.
But yeah, I could see where you want that discount.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty nice. Anything else, guys? Anything else tonight?
Have you finished Cape Crusader yet?
I am through, I think 8.
Okay.
How is it?
Like the whole series.
Yeah, just in general.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's good.
I like it. Again, there's been some controversy with it, but I think that overall, I like the look, the animation. I like that they've introduced some characters that we're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
They have changed. I really like kind of what they did with Harley. Harley, they've made her into kind of a psychologist, but you think she's good and not good. I get like there's some nice twist to it. It makes me want to see more. And controversy aside, I think they've done a nice job with it.
Do you think they should have started with a different episode?
I do.
Yes.
100%. I think it would have changed the tone of how people felt about it.
Right.
Penguin being a female, like I don't feel like it really added much to the character.
Except for
to be honest, I think it's one of their weakest episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody seeing Alien this weekend? I am.
Me, definitely.
Looks
I'm gonna be out of town, so I'm not gonna be able to see it, but it looks freaking amazing. We did see Twisters.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. It was fun.
Good summer popcorn movie. Yeah.
Do you guys kind of feel like movies are kind of back?
Yes.
Well, maybe. I mean, for you, Deadpool was so fun to go to a theater and see tons of people in the lobby and long lines for popcorn. That was really cool. And then, shockingly, that movie this last weekend with Blake Lively did $50 million.
Did it really?
Everyone thought it was going to make $23 million.
It's awesome.
And
I just feel like people at the theater, people kind of going out again. Like, when's the last time I went to seeing 2 movies in the last month? That's unheard of for me. It's been forever since I've gone to the theater.
And we got Beetlejuice is coming soon too.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, that looks good. Yep, that's right.
I
feel
read
like it's
about
kind of
a year
back.
ago, coming out of the pandemic, I read an article talking about how sometimes you just need one movie like Deadpool Wolverine to remind people of the theater experience to get it jump-started again. And other movies can benefit from that. And that might be happening.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think we're all big movie fans. Like, we love cinema, and there is something about being there in the theater with the big speakers and the audience and the popcorn and all that good stuff. So,
well, I did not get popcorn during Deadpool because the line was like 2 hours long to get popcorn for the Deadpool movie.
They didn't have the popcorn
I had
buckets
popcorn in the Deadpool taxi. Like, I was literally eating like the popcorn out of the Deadpool taxi. So I was having fun with my popcorn.
That's a lot of fun. Well, I hope you guys have a good time at Aliens. I hope it's good. Give us a spoiler-free report in our private chat.
Will do.
Tell I'm back to teaching. I've got no voice left. Anyway, fun show, guys. Thank you for chatting tonight. Dan, it's great to have you back, my friend.
Yeah, likewise. Great to be here. Yeah, I did, Chris. I did get, speaking of Frankenstein, Sideshow's Frankenstein.
Yeah,
I did get a notification that they adjusted the. I don't do a lot of payment plans, but for that one, I'm like, I don't really care. I'm just going to throw it on a payment plan, and and they adjusted the payment plan so that the final payment is 1 month further out. I think it was supposed to complete this month, but I got notification that it completes next month, middle of the month. Is that normal? Do they do that kind of?
I've heard of that from several collectors, and usually it means that the piece is coming a little bit later than originally anticipated.
Gotcha.
I wonder if that's like a boat problem, like a shipping problem where they just got a delay.
Maybe.
But anyway,
speaking of Frankenstein, we went to see Alice Cooper this weekend, and Ladner is involved in everything music. He loves music, and I don't usually buy him stuff. Like, sometimes we'll get a shirt or something, but they had a signed Alice Cooper poster.
Oh,
it was $100. And so I bought it for him, and it's very much, it looks like a Frankenstein's monster poster. It's Alex's face, but it's really well done. It's got that old classic, like, horror movie. What's the old magazine that they used to have? Like
Fangoria.
Yeah, something kind of, it looked very much like that. So it was really cool. So,
That's awesome.
But yeah, fun time.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for watching. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We'll be back with a couple weeks for Rogues Gallery Live. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the Batcave. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
See y'all.
Bye-bye.